For as long as man has thought and felt, he has questioned, and for thinking man the most profound questions have always been the same. Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? And for as long as the questions have existed, so too have the answers, as part of the perennial, ageless wisdoms that are man's true inheritance, and which are the foundations of theosophy. Although theosophical origins lie in the distant mists of time, there are clear historical threads of the wisdom which run through all cultures, religions, and sacred writings. This ancient stream of knowledge has been kept alive through the centuries by certain teachers who address the cultural as well as the spiritual needs of their times. These teachers included the initiate priests in Egypt, Zoroaster in Persia, Buddha in India, Lao Tse and Confucius in China, Pythagoras, Aristotle and Plato in Greece. In Palestine, the Nazarene, and in the 3rd century AD, Ammonius Saccas, who founded the Theosophical Eclectic School in Alexandria, which was later closed down by the Christian Emperor Justinian. This was just one example of the opposition to and suppression of the ancient wisdom from those who felt threatened by it. In more recent times, the tradition of teaching was continued in Europe, despite continuing repressions, through the Hermetic, alchemical, and Kabbalistic philosophies. The Cathars, Paracelsus, and during the Renaissance, Pico de Mirandola, Bruno, and artists such as Botticelli, Michelangelo, and Leonardo da Vinci. At the end of the 19th century, many of these teachings, these threads of wisdom, were woven together by Madame Helena Blavatsky, the controversial Russian occultist who, through her great writings, introduced Eastern religious philosophy to the West. Her primary object was to collect the arcane ancient teachings, once the preserve of an elite few, and radiate the wisdom now known as theosophy.
Theosophy means divine wisdom, Theosophia. It's a wisdom that is rooted in all cultures of the world, a wisdom that derives from man's attempt to experientially explore the nature of reality, to come to know his own inner self and the essence of the cosmos.
Theosophy is, in Madame Blavatsky's words, the synthesis of science, religion and philosophy, and it indicates the breadth of its areas of interest. It is certainly to do with religion, although not a religion. It is certainly to do with philosophy and metaphysics, though it is broader than that still, in the sense that it covers the areas that the natural sciences cover as well. So it's all of those areas. So anything which is a legitimate area of inquiry falls within the ambit of theosophy. It is that broad.
Theosophy is not a religion per se, but rather the ground upon which all religions are based, just as it is the groundswell upon which our sciences and philosophies are brought into being. To try and suggest that theosophy is a religion is to limit it to one particular fabric, one particular established setup of dogma and ideas. And theosophy can never be constrained within any dogmatic structure. But religion is also the social organizational structure that seeks to cohere together those of a like mind. Now, so often the religious organizational structure is that which has the failings of human nature. but the direct spiritual impulse to unite, to know the self, the source of our nature, is almost timeless. And in many ways, that is the closest association we may find with theosophy in its true essence.
But implicit in religion is the concept of deity. What does theosophy say about God?
God for theosophy is a difficult concept because God means so many different things to so many different people, and therefore we like to be very careful about the use of the word God, and on the whole probably to avoid its use because of the misunderstandings that it's likely to engender. Theosophy certainly doesn't believe in a personal anthropomorphic deity, but it certainly does believe in a divine principle. And so in the sense that God is viewed as being an impersonal divine principle, then yes, we subscribe to that wholeheartedly.
God may have expression through any one of an infinite number of potential beings, but the God that people often refer to as the infinite is that ineffable essence that is within each person, within each rock, within each leaf, each tree. All forms of substance are rooted in the eternal ground of being. And so often it's impossible to qualify this, that it is simply referred to as that, or the suchness, the isness of all possible modes of manifestation. It's the fundamental factor that unites all within brotherhood.